Alright, hello and welcome. This is Pelorian. So, I'm going to make a tutorial about FaceGen and what little bit I know about it. I am by no means an expert, and if anything I say in this video is incorrect, feel free to either leave a comment on YouTube or go on my Nexus page, Pelorian1985, and send me a message. You can leave a comment on the page for my mod page there, or feel free to DM me and let me know, because I'm still learning. But I haven't seen any other good videos about it, so I figured I'd walk you through. Now, first off, this is a manual method going through Creation Kit. I know WC is working on a script program right now that's in the works that would, from my understanding, basically if you have a bunch of mods that need FaceGen, you would launch this, it would gather all the NPCs that don't have FaceGen, put them into an ESP file, and then I think you would load that in Creation Kit and then generate those faces, and then it would just give you what you need. But I don't know how long that's going to be, so I'm making the video for this, and then whenever that comes out and I get a chance to test it, try it out, and I figure it out, I'll go ahead and also post a video for that for those who would want to learn how to use that. Creating FaceGen data is not difficult. Basically kind of taught myself, except for the control to actually do it. It's just can be a little tedious. So I'm just going to show you as I do one, because currently, for you've probably seen my page or will see the diverse series FaceGen data. So basically just been working through. I've got these ones done, the settlers, so we're going to go to disciples next. So open that up. I'm going to go ahead and download those files. Alright, I got my mod building list in. I'm going to go ahead and install this. Go ahead, get that one in. Alright, so first thing I like to do, because I don't know of an easier method, if there is an easier way to identify only what's in an ESP, somebody please let me know, because I don't know. I don't know Creation Kit that well. I usually use F04 Edit or Xedit. I'm relatively new to Creation Kit, so anything I can learn or a link to a YouTube video, greatly welcome. But what I like to do, at least with RSM 000's RSM's diverse, is I launch up the Xedit. So go and give this a minute. And go ahead and select none. Just select that so it loads faster. Or if you have multiple ones you're doing, you can do that too. Alright, once it's done, open it up. I like to look where it says leveled NPC. It says characters. So what I like to do is I'll take a piece of paper and I will actually write down the numbers. That'd be like, it's not 01 because this is Nuka World. So I have to look in a minute. 0 something, because the number that begins 0 and whatever the number is changes based upon the order of your DLC. So 0 whatever 01108C. And that's going to be different for each one. That one is, but this one basically from what I've gathered is if you put this number in when you spawn, and I'll show you how to do it, you can spawn in multiple ones with varying faces, so it gives you a better way to test it. Alright, and the green ones here are ones that he's changed the faces on. You can see here with the template, see he added in the face. So nothing else really. So a lot of times if you're looking at his or certain mods, look and see, is it just like the face in that's changed, or is it actually like the actual whole, like this one is pulling from a pool of faces. So see, that's a female. So the female one is pulling from the female faces, which then pulls from the vanilla ones, and then all the extra female ones he added. So because of that, we don't need FaceGen for these ones, at least from the way I do it and have seen it. You don't need these. What you need is all these white ones, because these are the new faces. Each one is an individual new face that these all randomly choose from. So they're all listed just Disciple F, and then or Disciple F and Disciple M for male and female. So, alright, so now that I've got the name, I'll go ahead and exit out of there. And go to Creation Kit, launch that. Could take a minute depending on your PC and other factors. Also, I'm not going to be showing how to do this with face textures because I've never done it yet. So maybe in the next one I will, or I'll see. Alright, so you go up here, go to data. You're going to need follow 4, and we're going to need Nuka World for this one. Oh yeah, I forgot to see what the Nuka World number is. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That might be 7, possibly. Possibly 7. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Alright, so you can see all these here. And see, I'm thinking if you want base face textures, like say what I would do is you just select the base face ESP, and maybe the ESP makes it recognize the textures. I don't know. Haven't tested that yet. I'll be working on that in the near future. So yeah, you see diverse disciples down here, so you double click on that, hit set as active file, click OK. Give it a minute, few minutes, like again, depending on your system and how fast it is. Sometimes even for me it takes a few minutes. You can see it down here, it says loading file. I've even had times where it seems to freeze and I click on it and it says, like, see, it kind of gets white and it'll be like not responding and blah, and it looks like it's bad, but it's not. It's just creation kit. I hear it crashes a lot and it's got its funky issues, but I just let it go. I've even had it come up where I click and it comes up like, do you want to close? And I'm like, no, wait, and then it pops up. So it may appear to freeze. Give it some time. 99% of the time it works for me, so if you're new to this, just give it some time. Alright, there we go. See? Just need to have a little patience with it. It's a little bit slow. Okay, so it's usually selected on actor. If not, just select actor. Go up to filter up here. We're going to type in disciple. Alright, so you're going to see disciple F. All this. You only want the F's and the M's that have the disciple M or disciple F and 0, whatever the number is. So all these ones are the ones that have the face spike. You don't need to worry about those. So select those, real easy. Hit Control F4. Literally, that's it. You select the NPCs you want. Control F4. Export to for selected. Hit yes. Give it a few minutes, depending how many it takes. Sometimes it just takes a couple minutes. When I did the Settlers, it had around 1,000 faces. That one took probably 20-25 minutes to do. So depending on how many, normally if you're just dealing with companions or a couple NPC facial overhauls, like most of them, it'll probably be almost instantaneous. RSM 000's RSMs. Diverse Series just has a lot of faces, and I love it. It definitely adds much variety, but it takes a little bit to render some of them out. Because basic idea, while this is doing this, is that from what I've heard and understood is that, for those that don't know, FaceGen basically, the way the game worked before is it would basically generate FaceGen, I think, on the fly. So you have many layers to your face. You have like the skin, then makeup, eyebrows, any lip color, anything else on there, dirt, grime, scar, tattoos, everything, and you see it's done, says okay. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down. But yeah, so you have all those things layered, and so if an NPC has, say, 6 of them, well, it has to open 6 different textures and then layer them all on there for it, which can decrease performance when you have a lot of NPCs spawning in around you. Whereas FaceGen, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so what you're going to do here, I already have it open, but this override, if you're doing it the way I do, it'll go straight to override. So you click override, open and explore. Comes up, it has these texture meshes. You can check too, go to actor, character, face customization, and then open up one of the files, and you can see there's a face. Go to another one. There's well, that's a specular map. Okay, there's another face. So yeah, that's what it does. What it does is, instead of having like, say like this, the green would be makeup and probably, I don't know, the pink, the green would be makeup, the eyebrows would be separate, all the dirt would be separate, the little like blemishes would be separate. All that would be separate textures. What FaceGen does is mashes it all into one texture with everything on it. So when it launches in the game, it doesn't have to load all these textures and put them all together live in the game. Instead, it just says, hey, I have one texture I have to pull, so it increases performance. Somebody actually stated that once they ran FaceGen for just the vanilla game, because even the vanilla game with XL, I think, the mod that I'm making this mainly for, basically when they generate FaceGen for it, they said they ran through Boston and actually got better frame rate. So I think that is also possibly part of the performance. And yes, I forgot to mention, I do a lot of this for the mod XL, which came out like a week and a half ago, because apparently that, from my understanding, I haven't tested it because I'm not on next gen, but that might have been part of the next gen stuttering problem, but also it fixes the problem of FaceGen and Bethesda's game not working right. So because of that, if you have it installed, which I'll show you an example, your NPCs are headless. I guess that's, from what I've heard, is how it works in Skyrim, so it's kind of like that, where they don't have FaceGen, they just have no head. And from what I had gathered last night reading on the forums is that basically you have to, if you want 2K face textures, you also have to have everything in 2K, otherwise you'll still have the brown face bug. So we don't, so make sure you do that. And also realize that it took like 2 minutes to generate this. If you're running 2K textures, it could take 5-10 minutes for them. So depending, it could take a while, but also the file size is going to be bigger. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, depending how many NPCs you have or companions and all that stuff. But I think if you're doing 2K textures, you'd also have to face generate for the entire vanilla game, which I think runs up to, I heard, like 14 gigabytes. So 2K textures, you could be looking at 30, 40 gigabytes. So yeah, it can get pretty large if you're not careful. Okay, so enough rambling with that. So, okay. So yeah, we open override, which I shut down. Okay, so open overwrite. What I do is I then copy the name, right click, create empty mod, and then I just go FaceGen data. Yes, you're getting a behind the scenes example of how I make the mods for mine. Okay, so just click that, open Explorer. Go ahead, take the FaceGen, so take these. I just select the mesh textures because it creates meshes for each head too. Drag it over in there. I can shut that down. So go ahead and look at the size to see 1.9 to almost 2 gigabytes of files just for those faces. Alright, now what we're going to do next, open Cathedral Asset Optimizer. And yeah, I'm not going to take the time to explain how to go through all that, set it up. There are other guides on how to do some of this stuff out there, so you can go check that out. Along with MO2, I do not know how to do Vortex. I haven't used Vortex in 2 years, so I'm sorry if you're a Vortex user. I don't know how Creation Kit and all that, and you find the files, so you can ask me. I'm not going to know, and I'll probably just tell you, go ask somewhere else, because I don't know. And I'm sorry, I don't bother with Vortex. It's way inferior to MO2, so don't even bother with it. But, okay, so I made a compression one. I don't even know if my settings are right, but I took my best guess. So I shut off all the stuff for extracting, creating BSAs, all that. Didn't create a dummy plugin. So for that one, I went to textures, just did necessary optimization, compress textures, generate MIP maps. And so go over here. If you just click on the bar, it'll come up with the link. Hit copy. Come up here. Paste that in, hit run. What this is going to do is compress the files. This is the way I was recommended to do it, and it works really well for getting size down, because when I first did the Settlers one that had like 9,346 files, uncompressed it was like 41 gigabytes, and when I got done compressing it all, it was down to like 3.9 gigabytes. So it shrunk pretty good. The compression works really nice for shrinking the size, but depending how big it is. But like, again, unless you're using the entire pack for a diverse series, I don't see it to be a massive issue. If RSM 000 RSM is playing the diverse series this Thursday, basically April 1st from my understanding, or somewhere around there, or August 1st, sorry, or somewhere around there. For his being so big, there's a good chance that the all-in-one will be something around 15 gigabytes. So, yeah, if you don't feel like downloading it, the other option would be to download all of them individually, merge them into one file, and then use Cathedral Asset Optimizer to make it one big BSA. But that's up to you. Or just download each individual and just run them. I always do ESP Lite, so they will not affect your ESP limit with the dummy plugins. But that's another option too if you want to get them smaller instead of having to do one big 15 gigabyte file. Download each individual the smaller, because basically when I do the all-in-one, I'm just going to take all the meshes and textures from all the other ones I made and just put them all into the same folder, because it's the same thing. Nothing special. Okay, so that's done. So now while I'm in here, I go back and I looked at the Step Fallout 4. Step, S-T-E-P, it's all caps, has a guide for Fallout 4. Now, it's outdated now, but they have a guide there on setting up Cathedral Asset Optimizer for BSA stuff. So if you want to know how to do that, they have a good guide that walks you through how to do it. So that's how I did it. So for that, you put in, again, select, put in the DAT, hit run. This is going to make them all into BA2 files, give me the dummy plugin, so that's done. So now you can see I went from 1.92 to 312 megabytes, so pretty significant shrinkage. Alright, then take those, go and zip it up. And I'll make a copy when it's done. I'll throw it in my folder. Alright, so that's done. Take this, throw it in. This is where I keep all my other ones. Go and delete that. Alright. I'm going to go test it in game here. So, one thing that I make the mistake of is because I did that, it's not showing up over here. So you hit F5, it refreshes it. It should go from gray and italics to white and regular. And then down here you'll have your little ESP. I'm going to leave it unchecked the first time because I basically want to... Yeah, I basically want to make sure that it... I want to show you the example of what it looks like without FaceGen. And then I want to show you what it actually does. Okay, so Nuka World is 6, it looks like. Okay, so it looks like I need 0, 6. Okay, so that should work. Okay, so let's go try this out. See how this works. Okay, so we're in game here. Let the shadows and stuff load in. Okay, so go into your console command, basically player.place at me space. Now use that number, so it should be 0601108C, and then space, and then I usually do like say 30. Okay, so there's nothing underneath that. It looks like it's good. That'll spawn in 30 random Nuka Raiders. Now they're going to be enemies, so we're going to do TGM for toggle God mode, TAI, toggle AI, so they won't actually do anything, and hit the tilde key again, and boom. Okay, as you notice, no heads, floating gas masks, floating goggles. There's a couple now. The ones that come up like this, that's vanilla faces. So those are ones that are already in the game, so they don't require FaceGen because, well, they're already there. I don't know why that one has hair sticking out, but yeah. So you can see all that, the headless ones, that means they need FaceGen. That means new faces. Okay. Now, since they'll all kill me, I'm going to quit out before saving. Now I'm going to go down, disable or enable the ESP, and now I'll show you what the difference is. Alright, so do this again. So player.place at me space 0601108C. Do 30 again. Toggle God mode, toggle AI, and there. And now you can see now there's the faces. So now, yeah, you got much more variety to the faces. Got them all the heads. So now you have a lot more variety, which looks much nicer, I think. And so, yeah, see green hair even. Yeah, so that's what FaceGen does. FaceGen basically puts it on there. So if you're not using Excel, if you're not using it, it'll work fine without FaceGen data. I would say the FaceGen data should increase performance, but it's not gonna be necessary without Excel. It just might increase performance, so you don't really need it per se. But with Excel, it's required. Otherwise, you have headless. So, alright, and that's basically all you need to do. You just create your own mod, and then if you want to go install it yourself, you just click this little thing up here, select, say like my depot So yeah, go in here, you basically select the file, you hit open, and it's got all your main textures and ESP. So that's all you got to do to create your own. It's not super hard, just gets a little tedious sometimes. And then, well, let me go ahead and show you Excel real quick. Alright, so yeah, this is Excel. It says Excel Fallout 4, made by Perchik71. I hope I pronounced that right. He's also the same mod author that makes the Creation Kit platform extender, which I am not using. Maybe someday. I'm still learning. And in-game Mod Explorer MCM, which is kind of like Dave's Mod Explorer, except apparently MCM. So I definitely made us to try that out. But yeah, basically this mod is medicine for the game for to improve optimization and fix bugs. First update fixed constant freezes of the process and added new patches. Second one that just came out earlier today fixes Sean Child and Sean NPC. Minor fixed IO and some other things. It improves threads, memory management, replacement, memory leak has been eliminated. Working FaceGen. There are no more freezes related to faces. Face generation is required for new characters. If the is_chargen face preset flag is set to is_child player keyword, I skip since there are many mods that installed this flag but did not make FaceGen, and removed anyone from the load screen. The NIF and small optimization for working with files. So for this you do need Fallout 4 script extender. And then it looks like the unofficial Fallout 4 patch and community fixes merged because they fixed some missing face gen on original NPCs. And you need Microsoft Visual C++ redistributables for Visual Studios 2022. Shape recommendation advanced freeze fixed. Some other things here. Yeah, so definitely if you're interested, check it out. And yeah, I just upload them here. I'm going to add this one in. I'll probably add it in the morning because it's like almost 3 o'clock here in the morning. And I'm going to be heading to bed here. But wanted to get this recorded. Hopefully I can get it edited tomorrow. And I'll either have it up tomorrow on Tuesday or at the latest probably Wednesday. So you guys can start to learn on your own. And hopefully it's helpful. You guys take care and be safe. It's Pelorian checking out. Until the next time.